Hello friends, you are welcome to my YouTube channel JK Academy India. In today's video, we will discuss about the armature reaction. Armature reactions mean the effect of magnetic field set up by armature current on the distribution of flux under main pole of generator. The magnetic field has two effects. One, it demagnetizes or weakens the main flux, and second, it cross magnetizes or distort it. The first effect, that is demagnetizing or weaken the main flux, reduced the generated voltage, and the second leads sparking at brushes. These effects are well illustrated in this figure. Which shows the flux distribution of a bipolar generator when there is no current in the armature conductors. So this is the field shown by these lines. For convenience, only two poles have been considered, though the following remarks apply to multipolar fields as well. Moreover, the brushes are shown touching the armature conductors directly. These are the brushes. Although in practice they touch commutator segments, not directly to the armature. It is seen that the flux is distributed symmetrically with respect to the polar axis, which is the line joining the centers of N and S pole. So we can say that this will be the polar axis, which is passing through the center of poles. The magnetic neutral axis plane MNA coincides with the geometrical neutral axis or the plane. So this is MNA, magnetic neutral axis, and this is GNA, called geometrical neutral axis, shown like this. Magnetic neutral axis MNA may be defined as the axis along which no EMF is produced in the armature conductor, because then they move parallel to the line of flux. If these are the line of flux and conductor is in parallel with these lines, so there will be no flux linkage with the conductor. Hence, MNA, magnetic neutral axis, may be well defined as the axis along which no EMF is produced. Or MNA is the axis which is perpendicular to the flux passing through the armature. As hinted, brushes are always placed along MNA. Hence, MNA is also called axis of commutation. Because reversal of current in armature conductor takes place across this axis, shown OFM like this, which represents both in magnitude and direction the MMF producing the main flux, and also MNA, which is perpendicular to OFM. So this is MNA, which is perpendicular to OFM. Figure shows the field or flux set up in the armature conductor alone when carrying current, the field coils being unexcited. The direction of the armature current is the same as it would actually be when the generator is loaded. It may even be found by applying Fleming's right-hand rule. The current direction is upward in the conductor under N pole, downward in the conductor under N pole and upward in those under S pole. The downward flow is represented by cross and upward flow by dots. If this is dot as seen here, then it shows that the flow of current is upward. And if these circles are having cross, then the flow of current is downward. This is upward. The EMF of armature conductors combine to send flux downwards through the armature. The direction of the lines of force can be found by applying corkscrew rule. Corkscrew rule is nothing but a screw, and for tightening we are moving this in this direction, and loosening is done in this way. So this is called corkscrew rule. The armature MMF, depending on the strength of the armature current, is shown separately both in magnitude and direction by vector OFA, which is parallel to brush axis. So far, we consider the MMF and armature MMF separately if they existed independently, which is not the case in practice. Under actual load condition, the two exist simultaneously in the generator, as shown in figure 27.3. So in this figure, this is OFM and this is OFA, and this is the resultant OF. It is seen that the flux through the armature is no longer uniform and symmetrical about the pole axis as seen here like this. Rather, it has been distorted. The flux is seen to be crowded at the trailing pole tip here, at the trailing pole tip, but weakened or thinned out at the leading pole tip. This is the leading pole tip. The pole tip which is first met during rotation by armature conductor is known as leading pole tip and the other trailing pole tip. The strengthening and weakening of flux is separately shown for a 4-pole machine here. As seen, air gap flux density under one pole half is greater than that under other pole. So here the flux density is more, we can say Bm, and it is here it is half Bm by 2. The new position MNA, which is always perpendicular to the neutral resultant MMF or vector OF as seen in previous slide, is also shown in figure with shift of MNA. This is the main magnetic field. This is the armature coil and direction of rotation is clockwise. These are the armature magnetic field resulting from interaction and old neutral plane, and this is new neutral plane. There is a deviation of angle theta. So the new position of MNA, which is always perpendicular to the resultant MMF OF, is shown in figure. With the shift of MNA, say about angle theta, brushes are also shifted so as to lie along the new position of MNA. Due to this brush shift, the armature conductors and hence armature current is distributed. Some armature conductors which were earlier under the influence of N pole come under the influence of S pole and vice versa. The regrouping is shown in figure 27.5, which also shows the flux due to armature conductors. Incidentally, brush position shifts in the same direction as the direction of armature rotation. So brushes are also shifted. All conductors to the left of new position of MNA but between the two brushes carry current downwards and those to the right carry current upwards. Here these are carrying current downward and these are carrying current upward, shown by dotted and cross. The armature MMF is found to be lie in the direction of a new position of MNA or brush axis. The armature MMF is now represented by the vector OF A, this one, which is not vertical brush but inclined by an angle theta to the left. It can now be resolved into two rectangular component OFD parallel to the polar axis, this one, and second OFC, which is perpendicular to the axis. We find that component OFC, this one, is at right angle to the vector OFM, representing the main MMF. It produces distortion in the main field and hence called the cross magnetizing or distorting component of the armature reaction. The second component OFD is in direct opposition of OFM, which represents the main MMF. It exerts a demagnetizing influence on the main pole flux. So it is called demagnetizing or weakening component of armature reaction. So here we found two components. One is called the cross magnetizing or distorting component represented by OFC, and second component is the demagnetizing or weakening component of armature reaction represented as OFD. Demagnetizing and cross magnetizing conductors. The exact conductor which produce these distorting or demagnetizing effects are shown in figure 26.27.6, where the brush axis has been given a forward lead of theta second as to lie along the new position of MNA. All conductors lying within the triangle AOC equals to BOD equals to 2 theta. AOC and BOD, suppose this is the angle theta, this one, so this complete angle will be 2 theta. At the top and the bottom of armature are carrying the current in such a direction as to send the flux through the armature from right to left. This fact may be checked by applying corkscrew rule. It is these conductors which act in direct opposition to the main field are called demagnetizing armature conductors. Now we will calculate the demagnetizing ampere turn per pole. Since armature demagnetizing ampere turn are neutralizing by adding extra ampere turns to the main field winding, it is essential to calculate their number, but before proceeding further, it should be remembered that the number of turns is equal to half the number of conductors because two conductors constitute one turn. So Z total number of armature conductors, I current in armature conductor, IA by 2 for simplex wave winding, IA by P for simplex lap winding. Theta m is the forward lead in mechanical or geometrical or angular degrees. Total number of armature conductor in angle AOC and BOD will be 4 theta m upon 360 multiplied by Z. As two conductors constitute one turn, total number of turn in these angle will be 2 theta by 360 into ZL. L is the length of conductor. No, only this is length Z. And to calculate the demagnetizing ampere turn per pair, we have to multiply this by current I. So we will get the ampere turn. These are the turns, and if we are multiplying by I, we will get the ampere turn. So the demagnetizing ampere turn will be per pole theta m by 360 into Zi. Therefore, ampere turn per pole will be this. The same equation. Now we will calculate the cross magnetizing ampere turn per pole. Conductors lying between angle AOD and BOC constitute what are known as distorting or cross magnetizing conductors. Their number is found. Total armature conductor per pole will be Z upon P. Demagnetizing conductors per pole Z into 2 theta m into 360. In case of cross magnetizing conductor per pole, these are the total number of conductors per pole. We have to minus this from this. So we will get Z under the bracket 1 upon P 2 theta m upon 360. To find out the ampere turn per pole, we have to multiply this by current I. So the ampere turn per pole for cross magnetizing will be this much. For neutralizing the demagnetizing effect of armature reaction, an extra number of turns may be put on each pole, so the number of extra turns per pole will be ATD upon ISH for the shunt generator. These windings are embedded in the slots in the pole shoe and are connected in series with armature in such a way that the current in them flows in opposite direction to that of flowing in the armature conductors directly below the pole shoe. An elementary scheme of compensating winding is shown here. So this is the compensating winding. It should be carefully noted that compensating winding must provide sufficient MMF so as to counterbalance the armature MMF. Let ZC number of compensating conductors per pole phase, ZA number of active armature conductors per pole, IA total armature current, IA upon A current per armature conductor. A is nothing but the number of parallel path. Owing to now ZCIA will become ZA into IA upon A, or ZC is equal to ZA upon A. Owing to their cost and room taken up by them, the compensating windings are used in case of large machines which are subjected to violent fluctuation in load, and also for generators which have to deliver their full load output at considerable low induced voltage, as in what Leonard said. So the number of compensating winding, number of armature conductors per pole is Z upon P. So the number of armature turns per pole will be Z upon 2P, and ampere turn immediately under the pole will be Z upon 2P pole arc upon pole pitch equals to this. Therefore, number of ampere turn per pole for compensating winding will be 0.7 times of armature ampere turn per pole. Thanks for watching.